You thought we wanted your sons that look like daughters to fight in our army? You were wrong. We'd rather your remaining young and strong that survived COVID to be sent to die in the desert.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. I try to stay an optimist on this channel. Unfortunately, we are going to war and we probably will all die. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, how do I know this? Well, I have discerned it based on the Army's new advertising campaign, which features only white dudes. Yeah, we're doomed, ladies and gentlemen. They are going to send all of us off to war, and then who knows what's next? Check this out. Directly from the Army, no diversity or inclusion or strong, powerful women of color. Put a chick in it, make her gay and lame. Together, we can take on any challenge, says the Army in their verified X profile. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, you can see the ad for yourself. First time you haven't seen any diversity or inclusion in a government ad in, I don't know, my entire life?
Stand up!
Yeah. Yes, that's right. Come on, white guys, go die for a government that hates you and your existence. The U.S. Army dishes diversity, new ads. Are we going to war? Asked Charlie. The answer is yes, Charlie, we are. OS, new Army recruitment ad dropped, and it's all straight white men. We are definitely going to war. The U.S. Army just put out a new ad. Notice the sudden lack of diversity? I wonder why that is. New U.S. Army recruitment ad is all straight white men. I guess diversity is only our strength until we need actual manly strength to go off to fight and die for us. Funny how the possibility of a new war cures all that white men bad bullshit. Correct. All white guys in the U.S. Army ad again. We are definitely off to war, says, of course, some of our favorite accounts on X. Having seen this ad made my blood boil. Like, I am not saying that veterans or anyone who's serving currently right now should be ashamed of themselves or should de-enlist. I am saying that this regime has made time and time again a active case that they hate you. They hate your skin color. They hate the way you were born. Based on zero data, Joe Biden goes out, the commander-in-chief, and says that white supremacy is the greatest terrorist threat to America. Time and time again, the regime goes out of its way to try and humiliate you, to try and say that you are worth less unless they need cannon fodder, unless they need the majority population in this nation, right, to sign up, enlist, and go die for them while they try and get diversity credit bonus points off of ads like this one. By the way, I can prove it, okay? Back before World War III was about to pop off, these were the ads that the Army was running.
This is the story of a soldier who operates your nation's Patriot missile defense systems. It begins in California, with a little girl raised by two moms. Although I had a fairly typical childhood, took ballet, played violin, I also marched for equality. I like to think I've been defending freedom from an early age. When I was 6 years old, one of my moms had an accident that left her paralyzed. Doctors said she might never walk again. But she tapped into my family's pride to get back on her feet, eventually standing at the altar to marry my other mom. With such powerful role models, I finished high school at the top of my class, and then attended UC Davis, where I joined a sorority full of other strong women. But as graduation approached, I began feeling like I'd been handed so much in life, a sorority girl stereotype. Sure, I'd spent my life around inspiring women, but what had I really achieved on my own? One of my sorority sisters was studying abroad in Italy. Another was climbing Mount Everest. I needed my own adventures, my own challenge. And after meeting with an Army recruiter, I found it. A way to prove my inner strength and maybe shatter some stereotypes along the way. I'm U.S. Army Corporal Emma Malone Lord, and I answered my calling.
That ad, ladies and gentlemen, is called Emma, The Calling. Notice, nope, haven't seen any white men, haven't seen any, oh, okay, strong black female character. The Calling, oh, interesting. Well, would you look at that? Here, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly what the regime wanted in their army before they realized that they needed to actually get some war fighting going on, before realizing that they actually had to win some battles, before realizing that this wasn't going to do it, and shit was about to hit the fan, and they needed to actually go into preparedness for World War III. This is what filled the ranks of the armed services before the Army realized that not really tactically something that you want on the battlefield. Okay? Matt Gaetz drops a Moab on woke military General Miley over drag queen story hours on military bases. Well, well, well. It's almost like the regime is, once again, lying to you. They are promoting drag queen story hour. Interesting. When was the last time they promoted straight white males? No, really, I'm asking that. When was the last time they did that? They're out here promoting drag queens and saying, we're going to spend American taxpayer dollars on this. When was the last time they promoted masculinity? Here, watch Matt Gaetz go full flames on.
I guess my question is, how much taxpayer money should go to fund drag queen story hours on military bases?
You know, drag queen story hours is not something that the department funds.
Well, wait a second. That's actually not what the record seems to suggest. You were going to fund one at Ramstein Air Force Base. That one got canceled, but that's DOD insignia. That's a drag queen story hour for children. Then also at Malmstrom Air Force Base outside of Great Falls, Montana, you had a drag queen story hour for kids. At the Joint Base Langley Eustis, you put on a drag queen story hour on a Saturday for the first ever kid-friendly diversity, equity, inclusion summer festival. And at Nellis Air Force Base, you had the Drag You Nellis on June 17th. Who funded these things, Mr. Secretary?
Listen, drag shows are not something that the Department of Defense supports or funds. So.
But wait, why are they happening on military bases? I just showed you the evidence.
Ladies and gentlemen, not only did Matt Gaetz expose that the military is not interested in manliness, the military is also not interested in you being white. They see that as a problem. White rage is something that General Milley, retired now, wanted to solve in the military. Seems like that's something you'd actually need to win battles, quite frankly, but what do I know? Again, shout out and thanks to all the veterans out there who actually fought for this country. It was white rage that was really holding you back. General Milley asked about this along with other racist members of the Pentagon. Remember, your regime hates America as a country is an incredible country and is founded correctly and thusly. The regime that is currently in charge of America in a hostile takeover of this country, they hate you, and you should not serve them. This is proven by Matt Gaetz's questioning. Watch.
General Milley, this will be my last time to question you. You mentioned 2 years ago that you wanted to better understand white rage. And so my question is this. Did you read this book?
No, not at all.
It is What is White Privilege is the book, and it's actually written by a DOD official, a senior official in diversity, equity, and inclusion, and there are now hundreds of these books in dozens of schools, and I wonder if you guys connect this to your problems with recruiting.
I've never read it, never seen it. Frankly, I don't even think about that stuff. I think about
go ahead and put up the next slide.
About the readiness of the force.
Go ahead and put up the next slide, please. Okay, well, in the next slide, this is a tweet by one of your employees in charge of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and it's patently racist. They say that she had to give Karen the business, that she talks about caudacity, presumably of Caucasian people. So I guess,
terrible.
Why does the...
Well,
why is that person
you're not
so
getting an
low?
argument from me. That's terrible. It's wrong. She shouldn't be doing that, period.
Should she be fired?
That's a DOD employee, not U.S. military uniform.
Should they be fired, Secretary Austin?
Again, as you heard at your subcommittee here, this incident was investigated, and
And they're
of course,
still employed.